Hi, in this tutorial, I'm going to go over how to use chart templates, and this is going to help you get really consistent charts across your whole presentation and save you a lot of headaches if you're working on a team project and you really want every chart to have these same core components. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to make one for a column chart. And what I recommend you do is when you're making these templates is to make it for as big of a chart as you think you might need. So let's go ahead and say maybe we have 6 or 7 series and a couple more categories. So I'm just gonna, since the values don't really matter, I'm just gonna populate the data with different values. And this is just so the template knows how to format extra columns, but it does okay when there are less columns. So I've just kind of made this as big as I think we're going to have as a 6x6 entry. So this looks really funky right now because of the way the data is, but we're going to go in here and start customizing it to our liking. So for example, I don't really like having these lines, and then I like to make sure all my text is black. So I'm going to make all of those black, the series black, chart title is black, and then I want my axes to be present and black, so I'm gonna double click here. That's the chart area. I want the axes options, tick marks. I like the major ticks, but on the inside, and that already looks like it's formatted black. So go to the line, yes, that's black. If you wanted to make it thicker, maybe 1 point, you could do that. And from here, let's make sure this is black as well. I'll do 1 point. I missed some text that I want to make black. And then we'll have to think about different labels. So maybe we want axis labels. Primary vertical. I'm just going to leave that blank for now, but I'm also going to make it black. And I'm going to insert a label for the other. And I'm just going to make that text black. Not bold. Other things you might do is move the legend. So maybe you want it on the top. And then I also like adding data labels. So I'm going to add them to the outside end. And I want these to be vertical. And I also will want them to be black. So you can see how this would be really annoying to do for every chart that you have. It's a lot of manual clicking. You could automate this using Excel macros, but for a lot of things we do, we want to make sure our charts are directly editable in PowerPoint, which is why I wanted to show you this method. Okay, so now this looks to my liking. All the text is black, the axes are black, we have all the labels that we want, and the legend. Now we can go ahead and make this a chart template. So right click, save as template, and I am going to name it my lead bar. And it will automatically save it in your chart templates folder, which is where PowerPoint will go to look for these templates. So click save. If it isn't and you're like shared a chart file, you're going to have to move it to that folder. But now we can go and we can insert a new chart. So let's insert a chart, and you can actually go and select your template. So select your template. It's gonna by default populate it with those original values, but we're gonna input our values. But you can see that's formatted nicely, like how we'd expect it. So let's go. I have data that I want to enter, but I'm gonna drag this out first just so I don't have any weird things happen when I copy and paste it over. So I have 4 products and their market size over a couple of years. So I'm gonna place that in. Let's sequence and just resize that so that it is the appropriate size. Okay. Now that should be everything we want. Okay, and I must have missed one of them in the chart template because that should be vertical. But anyways, that's only one thing to fix out of the a lot of different things. So now that looks nice, and you didn't have to go through and click through everything. You could add your axis titles. So this is year, this is market size, USD millions. And then this is, you know, market by product. So there, that saved you a lot of time. You didn't have to go through and click on everything to do it. And then you could make one for every single chart that you typically use. So say you also typically use a pie. And you want to make sure all your text is black. And you want to add data labels outside. You want these labels to have a category name and maybe the percentage separated by new line, and you want those also to be not bold, black. And then you can remove that legend because they're labeled right next to it. And if you pull these a little bit from the pie chart, it will go ahead and draw lines connecting it. So now you can save that one as well. Save this template. And then we can go ahead and insert that now. So go to chart, templates, pie. Let's edit that data. And now it automatically fills out that data, and you can go in and put your chart title, which will be market share bond. And you could change the angle of the slices, rotate it around. It'll keep that same format that you initially laid out. So now this is really simple. I think I know why this Kictionary, there are actually 7 rows, but there are only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 initial series that I put into that template. So that's a good example of how not formatting your template to the largest size can cause issues. But if you do it to the smallest size, you should be okay. So say if I insert another chart and it has less entries, data entries, it will be okay. So I'm just going to pull the data that I entered for the pie chart. And then I'm going to make it on a chart template. And there you go. So that's fine. So hopefully this has been helpful for you to think about how you can speed up your workflow by using chart templates, so you're not always going in and having to format each one by hand, as that can take a lot of manual clicking to get it to look exactly how you want it. I hope this was helpful, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for watching.